So today I'm doing a game update on my Decades challenge. I'm currently on the second generation, but this is the house for the first generation. I haven't been here in a while, so the people that live here are not dressed historically accurately. They've all kind of aged up now, and this is Helen McCoy. She is the founder of the challenge. So I'm doing it all pretty much the way the rules say to do it, except I've changed one rule. I'm not doing males as the heir, I'm just doing females. So it's a matriarchy. I kind of wanted to just make it about women and how they kind of live their lives differently throughout the decades. So in this first chapter, it was all about Helen McCoy. She had 7 kids with her husband Joseph. Unfortunately, this is Joseph. He's not doing so well. So yeah, they had 7 kids. Clara was the first one. Clara and this is William. They were twins. And then she had John. I think that's this one here. And then Margaret over here and her twin brother Thomas. And then they had Albert. And then so this is how they primarily made their money. They had a really good garden. They got all their food from this pond. And since I have the laundry day stuff pack, this is how they did their laundry, which was really difficult, but it was still kind of fun to do something like that was kind of realistic. So Helen did all her laundry in that tub. This was their outhouse, which all of them shared, which was really difficult at times. This challenge was really hard to do because you couldn't have any electronics or indoor plumbing, and those are things that we usually kind of rely on pretty heavily with our Sims. So that was their bathroom. This is the inside of their home. When they first started out, I'd used no money cheats, so their house was so empty. They just had a bed and a table and then the fridge and the stove, I think. They really didn't have much, but they made quite a bit of money from their gardening, and so that was Joseph's job, and then Helen just kind of took care of the kids. So they really filled up their house with a lot of stuff. And then over here, we've got like a cards table. They still have a bassinet, even though there hasn't been a baby in the family in a really long time. This is where Joseph and Helen slept. And so that's the downstairs. And then upstairs is kind of more like a loft. And that's where all the kids' beds were, as well as a fireplace, because they wouldn't have had heat back then. So they had no electricity. The only lights they had were candles, these lanterns. That was their primary light source. And so that's where it all started. And then I will jump ahead to my next generation. Okay, so this is the house for the second generation. Clara was the daughter of Joseph and Helen. This is Clara here. So I'm just going to show a little bit of their house. I downloaded this house in the gallery and kind of just renovated a little bit. Or I guess mostly I just replaced all the furniture. So when Charles, which is her husband, Clara married Charles on the day she became a young adult. They had a wedding at her parents' house, which is where we just got back from. And he was a doctor at the time, a general practitioner. Since then, he's had a promotion, and now he's a medical specialist, which I thought was just a good career for the time era. I also built his a doctor's office kind of, which I can also show you as well. So this is the main floor of the house. I have done since they've been in the house for a while, their oldest child just became a teenager. They've kind of, again, I didn't use any money cheats. They bought this house and it was pretty empty, and so now it's just, let's see if I can actually get in there. It's just been kind of filled up over the years that they lived here. This is the kitchen. This is a picture of Helen and Joseph. It's in color, which is unrealistic. I wish I had taken it in black and white because that would have been way better. So they've just got a cabinet there. their stove, and yeah, just kind of a pretty realistic kitchen for the early 1900s, which is when this would have been. Their dining room, living area, and then here wanted to take a picture of each heiress throughout the years and hang it in the home. So that is Helen. And then this is their bathroom, which is just really basic. No showers yet. And then, oh, the upstairs wasn't ready. And then this is their bedroom. So it's kind of a bit run down, their house. It's just, you know, a farmhouse kind of. So I did put in some like little cracks and stuff in the walls. That one's not so little, but I thought it would just it kind of suited the house. This is the boys' room. So they have two sons, Edward and James. So that's their room. They've got like scratches on the wall there. And then over here is their daughter's room. So Dorothy is their firstborn daughter, so she's the heiress. That's Charles there. And this is her room. And then they just also had a baby, and her name is, what's her name? Edna. I just thought that I actually Googled names for the early 1900s, and that's where I got all of their names from. So they have 4 kids, and they also have a really annoying cat named Florence, who is just right there, not meowing for a change, which is really refreshing. And then this is their garden. It's not that big because Charles's main income is from being a doctor. So Clara didn't have much time to really work in the garden with 4 kids and having to do laundry by hand. But now that Edward is a teenager, he won't be going to school. So that's one of the, it's not really a rule, but it's kind of like a guideline in the challenge rules that you could choose whether you want your teenagers to go to school or not. And so in the previous generation and this generation, I have decided that they will not be going to school. Yeah, so Clara, since she's the heiress, she's kind of been the main focus, and now it's going to be little Dorothy here. So I've been doing everything with no custom content. I have never downloaded any custom content before, or mods or anything. I just like to play The Sims as it is, the way it was meant to be played. So it's kind of been hard but fun to try and find clothing and furniture and just everything like that that fits the time period. Yeah, so this is them. And then I'm just trying to figure out, okay, so it's Friday at 2:30 a.m. I don't know why everybody is up at 2:30 a.m., but I'm going to put them all to bed if I can. James is downstairs eating soup, which is nice, but that doesn't work for me. So I'm going to put them all to bed. Clara is feeding the baby. I haven't decided if they'll have more kids. The goal is to move them out of this house eventually, and they can live in a bigger house. I did do a 1900s build, which I uploaded onto the gallery. I didn't do a speed build of it or anything, but I did make a house for them that I wanted them to live in, but I think I kind of overreached. It turned out to be worth like almost $100,000, so I don't think they're going to be able to afford it. Some of the most frustrating parts of this challenge is doing the laundry. As you can see, like, I guess I should get another laundry basket, and that would help to fill that one up. But it's hard to keep up with the laundry because it takes forever to dry on the clothesline. It's really annoying. And another part is the fact that we can't get those night lights for the kids so they don't have nightmares. It's really frustrating because they wake up super early all the time. But yeah, other than that, it's been a really enjoyable challenge, and I'm excited to be doing all of the decades. The next one is the 1910s, and that's all going to be all about Dorothy, so I'm excited for that. So I'll just let them keep sleeping. So it's Friday, so Dorothy's birthday. Is it her birthday? Oh, I guess it is. Okay. Well, that's good because toddlers are a bit of a handful. Okay, so Charles, he does work today at 9 a.m., so that's fine. I'm going to get him to do some gardening maybe. Actually, no, he doesn't really have to do gardening because that's going to be Edward's new job. So that will be all about him. I'm going to get Clara up and she can go make some food and also clean out the fridge. In this challenge I'm not doing, in the last one I did that they could only eat like fish that they caught, but in this one they can eat just pretty much everything. I try to make it as historically accurate as I can, so they aren't eating like tofu and things like that. I just try to get them to eat things that they probably would have eaten in the early 1900s. And so Edward, he can wake up and go to the washroom. He's going to have to get up earlier than 7:30 if he wants to be a farm boy, because the garden needs his attention. All these plants can be evolved, so I'm glad that we finally got someone who can focus on those. Of course the sink is broken, naturally. It's amazing how many things go wrong when you're already overwhelmed in The Sims. And the cat is sick. Oh, and meowing. Like I said, it's constant. I don't know why I got that cat. I love cats and dogs in this game, but that particular cat drives me nuts. They wouldn't have been able to take their pets to the vet back then, so she's going to have to suffer through that sickness of hers. Let's get Edward to go to the washroom. Dorothy is like starving. Let's get her up. And James is going to be going to school now. And then, yeah, everybody gets to start their day. So I just wanted to do a little bit. I've been watching a lot of the Decades challenges on YouTube, kind of even listening to them while I play my own game, because I think it's a really interesting challenge. I just finished the Not So Berry challenge, and that was by far the most fun challenge I've ever done. And so now I thought I'd give this one a try. And I've been really enjoying seeing how other people are playing their game and how it's been going for them. So I thought I would just put mine up here. But anyways, thanks for watching.